Comedian Russell Brand and pop star Katy Perry are getting a divorce.
He walked away with half of her $44 million that she made while touring.
$44 million. And they were married for I think 3 weeks or something, something ridiculous. I'm very caught off guard by that.
She didn't waste any time talking about the split to pretty much every talk show host. She didn't want kids, she didn't have enough time for him.
I'll marry you, Katy, and I'll love you for you and half of the money that you have. You have a lot of money, Katy.
I'm actually surprised that it lasts that long.
I figured if they can't make it, there's no hope for any of us. They had so much in common, black hair, and I suppose that's it.
Kristen Stewart cheated on Robert Pattinson.
She cheated on him with a director. Who does that?
You get close to your producers most of the time when you're looking to get that role, and she did what she could.
It was going to end eventually. Even if they are back together, we'll see what happens.
It's bad enough to deal with it when you find out in your little circle, but to find out through the media and then to have to work with her again, I don't know how he did it.
She went from Robert Pattinson to Robert Fattinson.
It kind of seems like a publicity stunt to me. They got back together right before their movie came out.
Obviously, she admitted that it was a mistake, and I think that, almost kind of won people back on her side. Everyone makes mistakes, and it's just frustrating for her that it had to happen under such a public eye.
A little bundle of joy born to Beyonce and Jay-Z.
In 2012, we had some ridiculous baby names.
I think my mom started that trend.
You always struggle, reading that kid's name off of lists, in a classroom or something, the attendance. I always feel a little bad for that one kid that always has to say his own name or her own name.
Snooki had one named Lorenzo, which I suppose isn't that ridiculous. But then Jay-Z and Beyonce had Blue Ivy Carter. Is that it? Blue Ivy Carter?
Jay-Z, he freestyles in the studio, naming his baby. He could have written it down. Blue Ivy, he could have maybe not just blurted it out before he just thought about it. Penciled in a couple of options. Terrible name, terrible name.
Blue Ivy, she's going to grow up at 30 and she's going to be like, my name's Blue Ivy, and what am I going to do with that?
I wish I was a celebrity so I could get away with naming my baby something ridiculous like Banana Face or The Roof, so I can constantly tell people that I'm raising the roof.
Well, Rihanna has finally come forward and admitted that she's forgiven Chris.
Rihanna and Chris Brown were together, then they broke up due to some severe circumstances, and now there's rumors that they're back together, which I think is ridiculous. I think trying to date someone you used to date because you missed the good times is a lot like digging through the garbage for a banana peel because you remember how awesome the banana was. It's just not going to be the same this time.
It ended up while he was driving, she was giving the good old-fashioned horse kick, and I think he just counter-punched while he was driving. I'm not going to say it was deserving, but you might not want to be getting horse kicked, and most likely you're going to counter with something. Not to condone Chris, and Rihanna, she forgave him, so then there was probably some truth to the situation.
The main headline is she forgave him. And there's people on both sides of the argument for that. Joan Rivers thinks she's an idiot, whereas Oprah and a lot of other big celebrities kind of take her side.
From what we know, it almost seems like it would have been wrong for her to do that, but what do we really know? We don't ever really know the truth.
With love, it's complicated. It's not easy to just get mad and walk away when it's extreme, and your head and heart don't always agree in situations like that.
I'm kind of siding Joan Rivers. I don't know.
I think that it's good for her that she forgave him. I have no problem with that at all. I think that what she's doing right now with fighting for him or whatever it is with Karrueche, however you pronounce her name, come on, you're Rihanna. What are you doing? You don't need to fight over Chris Brown with the model.
Technically a cover girl commercial of some sort.
Yeah,
cover
actually
girl. Anyway, now that I've inflated your ego, what's that?